Yeah, dear viewers, now in this video we are going to discuss about the principle of operation of the programmable logic controller. So first, in the last video we have discussed about what is a PLC and what is the use of it, where it can be used. So in industries, almost all the industries having the industrial automation systems where the sequence of operations are there. So automation, if you go for the automation, the sequence of operations to be controlled with the help of some devices, where this programmable logical control device will be used for getting the works done in the sequence manner. Okay, and this PLC can be worked in situations where it is industrial vibrations will be there, the machines vibrations will be more, and temperatures or humidity will be more, the environment where other computers cannot work over there. So there we are going to use these PLCs. And the PLC circuits, now if you want to see that, it follows logic, that is we call it as a ladder logic. So in the ladder, just like a ladder, how the ladder will be to a vertical straight lines, and then horizontal lines which joins these two lines will be there, right? So like this here, the PLC ladder logic is having two vertical lines, and horizontal we call it as rungs. So vertical lines we call it as rails, and horizontal lines we call as the rungs. So now these later we will see about the entire program. That's what ladder diagram. Now what is the thing it is using is normal in any PLC circuits. We are need some interfaces. Okay, the input and output normally. So the input devices and the output devices, without input and output cannot be done. So input is maybe a switch, electrical switch, or it may be a solenoid valve, or it may be a timer. So whatever it is, the input, according to the input and output, we will get some motors we can connect with the actuators or any motors. So if the switch is on, the motor has to on. If the switch is off, the motor has to off. So this is normally the interface, that is what input devices and output devices. And it general this ladder logic, it will show how the input devices and output devices are getting related, and how it will be function. So it with the help of the two vertical lines, that is the line which, so we call it as a rails, and left side of that we will keep the input devices, and to the right of this we will put the output devices such as a cylinder, actuators, motors and all, right? So in these cases, the line diagrams and the ladder, how they will be shown in some different forms over there. So normal horizontal line, which shows, that's what we call it as a rung, which shows the power line which is connected in between this left rail to right rail. So it's a flow of current, where how it will go, how the power will go. So that is the line over there. If line is getting intersected, that interconnection of the horizontal and vertical rails will be there, vertical power flows it is there. And suppose if it is a left-handed power connection of a ladder rung, and right-handed power connection of the ladder rung, you can see these, it is connected left and right, rail and rung is all connected. Okay, and normal open contact. So the normal open contact, if the gap, if there is a gap between these two small lines, this is normally how it will be done in case of capacitors, like the switches, how it will be. So we will show that this is what, how uh, ladder logics symbols are there. And output coils, if the power flows in the coil, then state it should be shown like this. And there are some other symbols and meanings over there we can see in the PLC program. Now one is, if this is a symbol where it is normally open symbol. So this instruction, which is called as a normally open, when it is power is supplied, it is going to be closed. Normally open in the sense, without power supply it will be open condition. Okay, if it power is supplied, then it is going to be closed, right? Like that, some systems are there. So rung is the one of the horizontal line where we are keeping the symbols over there. So in that, if byte 1 comes in the rung will be normally 1 is a binary, 1 and zeros we know. So if there is corresponding memory bit 1, then the respective rung will be executed. Okay, so if you want to execute the power supply, the binary will be 1, and if the corresponding bit, if 0 comes from this rung, will be not executed and output will be de-energized. So this is what one thing. And cases which consist of a symbol, a bracket which is closed over there, here it shows the of normally closed contact and input function. It's a input closed or storage bits, where bit 1 is again then if it is bit 1, then respective rung will be continuously executed, and bit 0 it is not executed, and the output will be de-energized. This is what how the bits it actuate the output devices through the rung. And addressing sample, suppose this I colon 3/1, if it is there, it indicates it is the input image. I is for stands for the input, and 3 is the port number. So input port 3 indicates the input port, and 1 is a bit of this port, input port. Like that, O3/1, so you can see the O is the output, and third port 1 bit. So this is what how it will be. And some other symbols may be there, just like open and close bracket, which is their OTE in the sense output energize. OTE, that is output energize. And this output energize, it sets when the rung is continuously achieved. So output energize in the sense it is going to be energized, and when the rung is going to be true in the sense of 1, right? So when it is a true, it is OTE, the energize. That is next one, latch, output latch. So here also the same, similar to the output energize, where except this 1 bit is set to be OTL. So if OTL, if 1 bit is set to the OTL, then it is latched on. So that has been that's what we said, set on. When it is set on, it will remain on. So rung conditions, if it is true, it will be running out. So next one is this, just like the same output unlatch, when it is, this is used to unlatch a latched bit. So address must be the same of the latched one. So these are all the symbols which are all used in the PLC programs. And next we are going to see about the PLC ladder diagram, how it is going to be work out, and what is a PLC ladder logic diagram. So that we will see with that. Before that, a timer, how it is going to be done. A timer is the one, just we know any program is going to have, it is continuously doing with some sequence. So if it reaches in time, so if that's what I said, no, one bulb has to glow after 10 seconds, or we are setting some alarms after 5 seconds. So that and all can be useful here. So the counter, it starts a counter timer once it's set, then automatically what will happen, this counter, it's reading, it starts to begin. So it is used, the timer is used to on and off after the timer has been set for a preset timer interval. So I want to set a preset time for next process. So the output instruction begins start timing when the bit goes on, that goes on true. So here then according to the output set time, it will count that data and keep on accumulated the intervals which have occurred, and sets done bit after the time equals to the preset time. So when the already the starter time and the preset time is equal to 1, that is equal to the same position, then obviously it will say as a done. So that how it will be with the help of the time base is going to be used. So as long as the rung conditions remains true, timer adjustment will be reaches until the preset value. That's what, when it is continuously working, so timer value, its evaluation goes on until the preset value reaches. So once the preset value reaches, then it will say done to it, and the value is getting reset. So this is how a timer will be increasing, will be helpful for setting a preset time, and how it is going to be logically worked out, right? So this is what, how the programming and logic control is going to be work. Next we will see the ladder logics and other things. Okay, fine, thank you.